Hey Tony, stop scrolling. We got new wheels for the Supra, man. Come on. Welcome back to another video, guys, and today's is a truly special one because we finally got some aftermarket wheels for a Supra. We went for some Advan Racing GTs in a gorgeous racing sand metallic, and we even got some Yokohama Advan tires to match those. So today we're going to be mounting these wheels and tires. We're going to talk about some of the benefits of aftermarket wheels, and of course give you plenty of glamour shots to drool over. Let's get it going. Quick little tip before we get the wheels on. If you have a German car and you're constantly working on it, which you are constantly working on it because you drive a German car, trust me, little Jimmy, I've been down that road. It's really not easy letting that piece of shit go, is it? You should buy yourself one of these. It's a wheel hanger stud, and it makes putting wheels on and off on the car with lug bolts so much easier. You just simply take this, thread it in, and slide your wheel on. Bam, no more holding the wheel with one hand, trying to align it while trying to put the lug bolt started. Like, it just makes it so much easier. And when you consider that these go on eBay for about like, 10 bucks, it's literally a no-brainer. Anyways, let's get these wheels on, shall we? See that? If I didn't have one of these, that would have taken me probably a couple minutes. Instead, it took me like 10 seconds. 10 bucks, really well spent. All right, let's lower her down, torque the lug bolts, and see what she looks like. Oh my God, Tony, it's a work of art, man, but don't take my word for it, just look for yourself. All right, now you guys got to drool over some B-roll footage. Let's talk about the specs of our wheel. So in the rear, we went for a 19, 10.5, 32 offset. In the front, we went for a 19, 9.5, 25 offset. So half an inch wider, both front and rear, still the same 19-inch diameter as stock. And you can go wider, but typically if you go any wider than what we did, you might have to add some extra negative camber to clear. For example, up in front, my finger can barely fit between the strut tower spring and the inner edge of the tire. If you're wondering about fitment, Apex Race Parts actually has a beautiful blog post where they detail pretty much every single size of tire and wheel that you can fit on this, some with modification like I've mentioned. I will link that in the description below. All right, now that the specs are out of the way, let's talk about some benefits of aftermarket wheels. There are many, but the most obvious one is probably, well, appearance. Now, I know beauty is an eye of the beholder and blah, 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 blah. You cannot tell me the stock two-tone wheels that came on this car are beautiful, okay? They're not. They're very, very ugly. I hate them. Glad we all can agree on that. Now next, let's talk about the performance benefits, and there are quite a few actually. So like us, like most people, they go wider when they buy an aftermarket wheel, which lets them run a wider tire, which increases their contact patch with the ground, which gives them more traction. Now that's all fine and dandy, but keep in mind, even with the most expensive aftermarket, forged, beautifully crafted wheel, if you go much wider than stock, you can end up adding weight. And now we know weight is the enemy of performance. It is especially the enemy of performance when it is rotational weight. Now, rotational weight is anything that has to spin with the car. So we're talking about wheels, brake rotors, and hubs. Now, rotational weight is worse than just say sprung weight because your engine has to work not to just move it, but to actually rotate it. And more weight also adds more inertia, making it harder to stop your car. Now, fortunately, because Advans are so beautifully crafted, we actually ended up losing weight since, I mean, we only went wider half an inch, but still, we lost 2.5 pounds in the rear per wheel and 2 pounds in the front per wheel, which might not seem like that much, but it is actually just under 10%, which should be quite the noticeable difference. Now, I mean, it's not gonna be the most drastic difference. We might not even be able to feel it on our butt dyno, but at the end of the day, a difference, no matter how minor, is still a difference. It all adds up. And last but not least, the final benefit to aftermarket wheels is if they are lighter, you'll actually also get better gas mileage. And let's be honest, with gas prices nowadays, that difference definitely matters. All right, well, thank you for tuning in to today's video, guys. I had a ton of fun making it, and I am just in love with this car all over again. I think the wheels look spectacular on it. Now, some of you may know, since we added the Supra to our garage, well, we've also added a ton of Supra parts to our website. So in case you have a GR Supra and you want to put some mods on it, I encourage you to click the link down below in the description. And as always, if you enjoyed tonight's video, make sure to hit that subscribe button, leave us a like, and as always, love you guys. See you in the next one. I'm cold!